I want to thank Keen for sponsoring today's video. Keen provides access to vetted psychics and spiritual advisors who provide guidance and insight on life's challenges, clarity in love, relationships, career, and more. Keen is also one of the most affordable ways to get an instant psychic reading by a professional at any time, 24/7. Not only do you have the convenience of doing your psychic session from home, but you can choose how you would like to communicate with your psychic. Your options include online chat, email, reading, or phone call. They have a great variety of psychic advisors, including mediums, for relationship advice, live tarot readings, astrologers, Spanish psychic readings, and so much more. As a new Keen customer, when you use the Supermoon Tarot link printed on the screen or click it in the description, you will receive your first 10 minutes for $1.99. Pricing then depends on which advisor you choose, and the services are backed with a satisfaction guarantee. When you sign up, you will complete a brief questionnaire which will pair you with a list of recommended psychics based on your needs. They ask about how you want to receive the information, whether that be gentle or a little more serious. They ask about the method in which you'd like to receive it, and all you have to do is just let them know your name and birthday, and then you're ready to get started. One of my favorite things I love about Keen is once you find a particular psychic you connect with, or in my case, a couple of psychics, you can have an ongoing relationship with these advisors that can help you with monthly intention settings, gain clarity for particular synchronicities, or help with regular chakra clearings. And once you sign up and try Keen, they send you weekly emails that include additional promotions like $5 free or buy $10 and get an additional $20 of credit. These promotions make it more affordable to connect with my advisor on an ongoing basis. Again, I want to thank Keen so much for sponsoring today's video. Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video, I have too many cards to be able to place my camera anywhere, so I'm holding it. I'm doing all 12 Zodiac signs and doing general readings for all. So I have it all cutely color coordinated, but in the description is actually a marked timestamp for your Zodiac sign, so you can skip right to it. For Sun, Moon, and Rising, you can check out your Zodiac sign, you can check out your loved one's Zodiac sign, have a good time sign. Anyways, let's get started with the very first sign, Pisces. How are you doing? Let's look at your general reading. Got Ace of Swords in reverse, Knight of Wands upright, Five of Cups upright, and Nine of Wands upright. Okay, what's really being pointed out to me is that in the Five of Cups upright, you've been having a tough time. We can actually get more specific than this, and this can give you a lot of comfort because I'm being told by my guides that there's a lot of Cancer energy around this, which essentially just means that you're emotionally reacting and picking up to what is around you in... This would be like a tangible manifestation, so it's kind of obscure. So sometimes tangibility, how do I put this? It's like when things aren't great around you due to other people's circumstances, you're picking up on that because it's being thrown in your environment way too much. So you're kind of taking it on yourself and confusing it with your own energy. And the reason why it's hard to sort through is, yes, there is some of your own emotions going on, but a lot of it is stuff being thrown upon you. That gets extra confirmed over here in the Nine of Wands. It looks like you have somebody sort of complaint training, is how I'd like to put it, onto you, and they're like relieving all their worries, and you're really feeling for them, and it's just kind of bringing you down. But here's the thing that's really interesting, and it's something to ponder. Your other person, these other people in your life, have a Nine of Wands circumstance. So yeah, it's difficult. They've been through a lot. You can see where they get the motivation, inspiration, and evidence to complain about whatever they're going through. But they're almost at the other end. In fact, there's an awareness that they're almost, done with their circumstance, whether that be to change their job, they're going to be in a better situation, and they're aware of it. They can feel it. They've already made the decision that they're moving forward in this better circumstance. And yet they're still unloading what feels like a lot. You know, you're taking it as extreme as you think that they're putting it out, but for them, they're just like, well, yeah, here you go. Here's my problems. Thank you for dealing with it for me. I just need to get that off my shoulders. But yeah, I'm almost done with this. Oh, it's just been annoying thus far. And you're like, well, I'm glad you feel great because it's intense for me to hear it from you. And I can see in the Knight of Wands, it has been coming at you incredibly fast. This is another comfort to say that, you know, you're like, could it have been different? Why am I taking this on? It was coming at you with such gusto, so repeatedly. It was kind of like, again, a runaway complaint train. There was no stopping it from coming towards you. And the reason why you're taking it on more intensely than you would at other times is the fast-pacedness and the volume it's coming at you. You were caught off guard, so to speak, and it took a hold of you, unfortunately, and I'm so sorry that it has. Now, I am being told in the Ace of Swords in reverse, the sort of, I don't want to say solution, but direction you're meant to go towards is a certain new mindset. I'm trying to ask my guides about it, but they're telling me I'm not supposed to pull more cards and go into more detail. You're completely aware of this different mindset. This could be, maybe I'm just giving some examples here, some suggestions. Another mindset would be like, maybe I don't need to take on other people's problems. Maybe I can even say, no, I don't want to hear the complaint. It's just not my problem. I'm still a good friend, even if I set boundaries. Whatever that, I'm being told that's a little bit it. Either way, this new mindset hasn't begun yet because you've been kind of pushing it away and denying it. Understandably so. You feel that you have not been ready because of all this energy being thrown at you. You're kind of in a sort of a survival mode, you know, protecting yourself, just trying to deal with what is in front of you. It feels like too much to take on that mindset. And yet you're being told that this other mindset that is going to pull you out of this circumstance. So you have to find a will and a way to peek your head out of all of it, look towards this new solution, and then give all of your attention there. It will be the huge, is it going to solve? Okay, yes. Okay, good. It's going to be the main solver and solution. I was just making sure to get that correct, essentially. So instead of just purely focusing on comforting right now is a sort of a Band-Aid for you, and is just healing wounds that essentially keep getting replaced upon you due to this other people's intensity they're putting your way. And the new mindset is what's going to pull you out of there so you full on get fixed. You don't have to deal with this anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with you. You just don't have to deal with this emotional intensity you've accidentally had to take on. So yeah, again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the video. It helps out like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I will see you in the next one. And let's get ready for the next sign. Hi, Virgo. How are you doing today? Let's look at your general reading. We've got 10 of Wands upright, the Death card in reverse, 8 of Pentacles upright, and 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, I already know what's going on. I'm excited. So, congratulations. I'm very pumped for you. It seems like you're going through this extremely positive transformation. And a part of that transformation, you are opening yourself up more. And the more open you are as a person, it's a very vague characteristic and idea, but essentially you want it to be that vague, because then think about all the options. You're open for receiving love. You're open for receiving financial opportunities. You're open to receiving just like good fortune and possibilities. The more open you are and receptacle, essentially it's like, what's the opposite of blockages? Being open. So you're moving towards this circumstance inevitably, and it's all due to this transformation going on in the Death card in reverse. However, there is a little bit of a sort of hiccup that we can talk about and get specific about. And then we can talk about where you can focus your energy in order to make the transformation process more possible, which I love. So here in the Death card, we can see that whenever you get the Death card, most of the given time, in this circumstance, this change is going to happen whether you want it to or not. I can see that you want it to happen. You're doing whatever you can to try to make it happen. So don't worry if you feel like you're going to mess something up. You're not. It's going to happen. But you're just kind of sort of stalling it is the best way I can put it. Now over here in the Ten of Wands, I can see you're putting way too much pressure on it. You're focusing on it too much. You're forcing it too much. When is this change happening? I want it to change. I feel this change happening. Why isn't it happening? I need to see results. And there's just too much expectation. And I'm being told there's too much ritual around it. So like, as much as it's a good thing when people every day are like, I'm going to journal every day, or some people do script writing for manifestation, or things like that. It's like you're too heavily focused on the routine and the importance behind the routine, and you need to back it up. You're doing too much. It's not helping. It's slowing you down. You need to think about it in this way. If you want to be more open, you got to be more open. Being an open person, everybody has a different, definition. I'm just going to give an example here. Is flowy. See what opportunities present themselves. By caging yourself off into a, this is the ritual, this is the routine I follow, you're not allowing an open mindset to allow opportunities and different routines, different ideas to pop in by kind of setting so many almost versions of boundaries and barriers, so to speak. In addition, I'm being told that there is something that you need to leave behind. This thing that you will leave behind, in addition to not putting this sort of expectation, intention, and responsibility on yourself as we just discussed, this thing that you're going to leave behind will feel like a sacrifice and feel like a real loss in your life. You're going to be like, oh, I didn't want to maybe stop talking to this person or stop doing this thing. This feels like such a loss. But I'm being told not only will you be better off, but in the long run, you're going to look back and think, oh, wow, that was really holding me back. That was not serving me anymore. Got it. Cool. Now, how can you, instead of doing this, I know you're thinking in your head, well, then what can I do? I understand what I don't want to do. Then I need to focus my attention somewhere. Where can I focus my attention? So we got this beautiful thing going on here. This is acting as comfort and confirmation, and this is where you put your focus and attention. So as you're focusing on something fun you love to do, just put your energy in the day-to-day, no expectation. What's a fun hobby you enjoy doing? Not as a routine to better you, but like maybe you like to go for hikes. Maybe you like to go for a bike ride. Maybe you like to work on puzzles. I'm just giving a bunch of random hobbies. Maybe this is your job. You love your job. And every day you're just kind of lost in the work, enjoying the details. You're very present in the moment. You've taken away the tension and expectation of when it's going to happen. And what happens is it's not that you just meet the destination. By embodying this mindset, you are and then in turn becoming a more open person because you're losing the sense of boundaries and you're losing yourself more in the moment. Sometimes where we need to go is like, think of it in like a fourth dimensional sort of speaking. You think you need to go, is it fourth or fifth? Maybe it's fourth. Don't worry about that detail. You think you need to go this way or maybe this way, but the solution is sort of a diagonal way and then from a different angle. Do you see what I'm saying? So just find something you love to do, your day-to-day that you lose yourself in, but you really want to, while you're enjoying this activity, you want to think about things like, oh, how could I, maybe this is some sort of craft artisan thing you're working on. You're like, how can I get better at it for fun or, become more of a professional in it? How can I extend my knowledge? Again, without the competition within yourself. Now, this shows you opening up and becoming a more open person, which we love. Then another comfort is if you feel that as you become more open, it is not necessarily a smooth process. Like you lose yourself in the hobby, but as you feel opportunities coming your way, it's maybe a little difficult to accept. You're not used to it. You wanted it, you're receiving it, but maybe it's a little hard to receive it. Understand that that's okay. That's not going to impede or create a new blockage or prevent you from being open. People think that becoming more open is or transitioning into any emotional state or mindset, there's one path, one way of embodying it, but there's many. And if yours is a little more bumpy, a little more like, think of yourself having to pry open those doors to your heart or whatever that may be, your mindset or whatever, is a little rougher, that doesn't mean they still don't open, and that's okay. That's a part of your personal process. That doesn't prevent you from getting to the end goal. That way, as you're enjoying yourself, you're feeling in the flow, but you're having these moments where you're like, oh, it's happening. I'm transitioning. I'm feeling myself being, I see these opportunities presenting themselves more. I see my life opening up, and you kind of have a moment of self-sabotage and freaking out, and you feel like it's a little difficult. Maybe you socially feel like you're starting to pull back and you can't handle it. That's okay. That's a part of the process. You take your time. It does not have to be smooth. It will get better. So yeah, I'm excited for you. Please consider like, comment, subscribing. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a lovely day. I will see you. Aquarius. Let's look at your general reading by looking at the cards. We have 3 of Pentacles upright, 7 of Swords in reverse, 4 of Pentacles upright, and 3 of Cups upright. Okay, I'm already being told that this is a work situation. My guide said that it can also be like a friendship situation because this is a general reading, so for some of you it's a friendship situation, but they're saying it's heavily a work situation. So I'm being told that there is a group of you, coworkers and stuff, that all work together. This could be working on a project, or maybe you often work the same shift or something. There's some camaraderie, it's nice, so on and so forth. It looks like somebody is spying on you guys, essentially, and reporting back some private information to somebody else. Both of these people are outside of the group. I'm asking right now, are they in the group? No. Okay, that's what I thought. So you don't have to worry about anyone in the group being like a liar or anything like that. That's not the case. It seems like this person wants whatever sort of information you have, and they want to sort of like hoard it and use it to their advantage. The other person, I don't really know what their motivation is. I think they just like belonging in a group by overhearing this and then bonding with this other person by sharing this information. But the main person who's going to gain the benefit from all of this is the person thinking that they're hoarding information. I'm being told that they are from a sort of lacking mindset, which means they think that the more they have, they will then therefore be abundant in being able to use this information either against you guys, or like maybe they know how to work on the project a little bit better, or they know the better shifts to take or something like that. But in fact, they always have this mindset that they need more, it's not enough. While you guys are thriving and you are doing your best. It's interesting. It's like the intent is sabotage, but it doesn't feel like that's ever going to happen. And it's not truly that deep. I think their brain and their mindset is bigger than what's really going on situationally, if that makes sense. It's more just like gossip they think is more powerful than it really is, but they're kind of unfortunately festering on that gossip, and they're not really getting much from it. I am being told that you guys are solid as a group, but it is important that in order to not let this bother you, don't even focus on it. Don't gossip about it yourself. Don't feel frustrated by it. Don't do anything other than enjoy each other's company. In fact, this is getting repeated over here, and my guides are saying that you should consider hanging out as a group outside of work as well, and just being really close and friendship and hanging out, because the more solid you guys are, the less this is going to even affect you, even beyond your scale. It's nothing. They can hear all the information they want to hear. It's not going to do them any good, because some things are only good in certain people's hands. That's the best way to put it with you guys. And it does seem like your camaraderie benefits you guys in a work environment via like the boss is like, oh wow, you guys work well together. I want to give you more opportunities. And as you guys work well together, you figure out better ways of problem solving and solutions and stuff like that. So make sure you guys are just really tight and supportive of each other. So make sure that you remind each other like, yeah, we're cool. Don't worry. Don't listen to them. We're all good. Don't let them bother you. Definitely give some time to get to know them personally. I have a feeling that this is something that's like totally in your comfort zone of being like, yeah, let's go hang out, let's have a movie night or whatever. Either way, you're good to go. Everything's going to be okay, but you're just being reminded that this is nothing to worry about. They're not really any sort of something that's going to hurt you or anything like that. Like, you're good to go. So yeah, not what I anticipated. Love that though. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving a like, comment, subscribe. Have a beautiful day. I will see you in the next one, and let's get ready for the next sign. Sagittarius, let's look at your general reading by looking at the cards. 3 of Swords upright, Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Empress upright, and 7 of Wands in reverse. Oh, I love this. Okay, so my attention kept coming over here. I was like very focused on the idea that you are going through some sort of pain. This can refer to things like betrayal, feeling like deeply disappointed, but it's very intense feeling. But my guides tell me this is where your attention is, but this is what's actually happening, which I love. So let's talk about where should I start first? Okay, I'm being told to start here. So the Empress is really interesting because it talks about a really great situation that's going on like right now. It's like in the middle of happening at this very moment. So for some of you, I just want to be absolutely clear about this. This is for people who want this. This is something that you want. For some of you, you are in fact with child, which is awesome. Again, just want to be clear, this is for people who want it, and this is like a dream of yours type of thing. So for some of you, that's happening, which is awesome. For other people, it's the sense of being like pregnant with an idea or a new mindset. And this is a very exciting idea or mindset. This is something that gives you hope and inspiration. You're suddenly aware of all of its potential, and all you want to do is love it and support it and foster it in the idea of like, how can I help it grow? How can I become a strengthened part of who I am so that no matter what happens, nothing can shake it. I see myself in this idea. I see myself in this concept. I want to help it grow. I'm so excited. So it's like this sense of like potential. So it's both the promise of abundance, but it's this excitement of where you can throw your attention to. And this is really exciting because of all the surrounding cards from it. So over here, we talk about the sense of pain and betrayal and sadness, and it just seems like your focus is intensely there. I'm also being shown over here in the Page of Pentacles and being told by my guides that you are lost too much in the details of what could have been. There's this upset of like a future trajectory. It's almost this idea of like, how do I put this? It's like there's a timeline that could have happened and you're just so focused on it, and it's like, well, it's not happening now. I'm so sorry. It's just not. And so you're investing in something that is uninvestable. I know that's not a word, but we're going to just create the word so you understand what I'm saying. And what happens is you're so lost in the details of that, it's sort of fostering this pain and focus. Now you're thankfully going to come out of that and you're also coming out of over here in the 7 of Wands, which is great too. It's this sense of like an internal battle within yourself. And no longer will you go back and forth and sort of disagree with yourself and then be defiant with yourself from both sides of it and go back and forth and feel confused and go back to what you think is sort of proof and evidence in your mind of comfort when you think, well, it could have been like this, or what about this, and keep being kind of mixed around. The second you know this concept or, you know, the other options we gave are there, it's like all of that goes away. All you've ever wanted was something substantial you could hold on to, and it's happening, and a second you see it, that becomes your main focus. Right now, you need something to focus on, and that's a good thing. And this is something that not only can you focus on, sometimes being overly focused can be bad. It can be obsessive and not healthy. In this case, it's something where you not only look at towards it, and it's taken your attention or focused your attention, but you then build upon that. You work on activities, ideas, mantras, affirmations. I'm just giving some examples here, but the point is you build upon it, and that's super exciting. So yeah, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to this video. It helps out like you would not believe, and let's get started on the next sign. Capricorn, how are you doing? Let's get started with your general reading by looking at the cards. We have Four of Pentacles upright, the Fool card upright, the Strength card upright, and the Nine of Pentacles upright. Oh, okay. All right, we're going there. For some of you guys, you're already here. And for some of you guys, you're stepping into this. You will soon be stepping into this. I'm being told soon as in like a month. So, which is exciting. I have some great news coming your way, essentially. But I'm being given a sort of a warning. Because sometimes when good things come our way, it's not until we're there that we learn that maybe we aren't able to handle it. We didn't know that was like a problem we needed to deal with, and that's okay. So we can deal with that, and we can give you comfort and stability in order to stay there, essentially. So over here is Nine of Pentacles, which is awesome. This is somebody who's really thriving at their job. I'm being told to keep this super vague. It's just the representation of wealth. It doesn't matter about the wealth, because in many cases, this involves the idea of like working for yourself or other things like that. And that's not important. It's just the representation of confidence in your wealth. And you're feeling good. Maybe you've got enough saved. Maybe you like your job. Maybe you get a promotion, whatever. We're just keeping it. Either it's right now or you're stepping into that. And it's just this sense of like, yeah, I'm doing great. I can buy myself things. Everything's awesome, which is great for people who are either enjoying it now or you're about to step into it. And even though you feel good, or even in addition to feeling good, there is a sense of confidence around it. It feels like wealth in the past has felt sort of like a lion or a beast. And it was something that you had to maintain control over. You had to understand, how can you soothe it? How can you have it work in your favor? And at this time, you've got it. You're doing great. You feel like you finally soothed the savage beast, so to speak, and you finally feel like you know what's going on. But I'm being told that there is the very strong possibility that there could be a sudden change in perspective. I want to be clear, not money. Your wealth's fine. It's almost like one moment, everything's great, you're feeling free. And the next, emotionally or perspective-wise, it can feel like you've stepped off the cliff. That's the thing with the Fool card, is people always lightly describe it as a free-spirited card. But being free-spirited takes a lot of emotional vulnerability and comfortability with that emotional vulnerability. I'm not trying to rhyme here. And for some people, it's easy to maintain, and some people, it's this suddenly awareness of like, but there could be the cliff that I walk over. And where that other side leads is over here in the Four of Pentacles. This is somebody who feels they just don't have that, that to give. It's this feeling of, well, I'm doing well now, but I don't know if I'll do well in the future, or I'm not doing that well. I don't know, I have all these things to pay off and blah, blah, blah. And suddenly you're holding on to your money as if it could go somewhere. And there is a danger in that. I'm given vague, like not a promise that it will, just kind of like a sort of light warning and being left at that, so to speak. Now my guides want me to really point out and have you focus on the Strength card. And essentially you're going to feel great, you're doing awesome. When you start to feel that, almost like you can see the cliff, so to speak, it's not about tightening up. That's the instinct of like, I've got to go get, if you're in the Fool card over here, I got to go get hiking gear. I got to do whatever I can to stay away from it. I've got to build my house somewhere else, so to speak. We're using metaphors here. I got to stay away from the cliff. It's not about that. You can still be free-spirited and excited and happy. It's about going back to the Strength card and really focusing on reaffirming your confidence. You can do this through EFT tapping. You can do this through affirmations. Understand that confidence is a choice, but once you choose to be confident, It is okay and is honestly meant to be fostered and built into your head until no one could possibly challenge you on it. You could have no money and still be the most confident person in the world, very confident that you do have money or you could have money. You've got to build that. This is going to give you confidence, but then once you have confidence, make sure you keep maintaining it. That way, when you see the cliff, your confidence kicks in and goes, even if I went over the edge, I'd be okay and I'd bounce right back up. Who says there's anything even bad on the other side? I'm doing great, and I believe in myself, I believe in the universe, and I believe in what I have achieved and can continue to achieve. So remember, start building that confidence now, even before you've stepped in that wealth, because that's only going to help you more and more and more, essentially. So remember, when you get here, if you get here, if this still happens unless, remember what you can go back to giving attention to. Don't be tricked and thinking it needs to be focused on holding on to your money. Be focused on your confidence. That's the real issue. So yeah, I hope this reading was helpful. Please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. I'll see you in the next one, and let's get ready for the next sign. Hey Taurus, how are you doing today? Let's look at your general reading by looking at the cards. We've got 3 of Cups in reverse, 7 of Pentacles upright, 2 of Cups upright, in reverse, and 2 of Wands. Ooh, this person's face says it all. I love this. Okay, so this has an extremely positive message behind it around some not so great circumstances. Keep in mind, the not so great circumstances don't necessarily apply to that they're going to happen or only be in the sort of background of your social life. They are just a sort of, hey, if this happens or when this happens, just don't give it attention, put your attention here, essentially. It doesn't mean that will always be the case. It's just when there's a hiccup, instead of focusing on the hiccups, look over here. But we can get into all that. So I would describe your general reading as like planning. You're going to be the master planner and I guess beginning or you're going to be starting some stuff, which is great. So over here we have you being like, okay, what's important to me? What in the long term is the goal I want? Do I want to go traveling? Do I want to start my own business? And we're talking more of like as much as many people want to be in a relationship or something like that, this wouldn't be this sort of planning. You can have that too. That doesn't mean you can't. But we want you to focus more on goals that solely involve you and going towards something or tangibly being able to build something like that. Either way, whatever it is, you're like, okay, in the long term, this is where I want to focus. I also want to clarify for the sake of people, you know how we can put pressure on ourselves. This does not have to be like the end all be all, the career, your dream goal. You got to know what the rest of you do with the rest of your life. It does not have to be that. It's just something you'd like to build towards. Maybe you want to have a lot of money, whatever that may be. And then you're going to be focusing a lot on the concept, idea, and actions around what can you build now as a sort of like seed to be grown in your mental garden that will flourish in the long run. And what I mean by that is, imagine your mind and your belief system like this empty, nutrient, soil-filled garden. It's got no plants in it. But whatever you plant in it, as that grows, that is going to be the thing that you continuously harvest from. And when we talk about planting something, we're talking about the idea like maybe the seed is the idea that I can do anything. Or the seed is, you know what? I'm going to make a little investment here with my career by maybe sending some blogs out here. I'm going to help this person. This person could potentially help me in the long run. And it's this idea of you're doing a lot of little things. They're meant to be small and little, not a huge effort. And no matter what, you understand that all these little small things that you're putting there might not pop up instantly with results, but all of them will pop up at some point and all benefit you in the long run. Doesn't matter what they do. No, it does not matter what they do. It seems like you're going to just kind of divinely know what to do. So this, if you're like, well, yeah, but if I want to plan and go traveling, how is like helping this random person, clean out their garage, like I feel like I'm being called to do that, but like how does that, relate? Doesn't matter. Just go with it. You don't know if they're going to pay for your plane ticket fare. You don't know that. So essentially what is going on is you're figuring out, what do I want to do and what can I start building and giving attention to, and have sort of this really strong belief system that I know that if I give attention here, it's going to build and build and build and build. And this is important because I'm seeing surround you two not so great social situations that can pop up, make you feel down, then you don't work on anything. And then in the long run, you're like, darn, like I feel disappointed. I don't feel like I'm moving anywhere. This is always the confidence of like, this isn't fun when this happens, but I've got this going on and I'm so excited about it happening. And you're being called to action to finally work on things that in the long term you're going to be excited about receiving. So over here in the Three of Cups in reverse, this is friendship groups that don't work out. These are friends that just don't have your best interests at heart. It's interesting. I'm being shown something really specific. I'm just trying to put it into words. It's interesting. I'm being shown like a friend you'd be really close to, and then they would like betray you. It's like that sort of vibe. I'm being told short attention span either way for them, for the other friend towards general loving and caring other people. Either way, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get all the information. Anyway, so this is when friendships like don't work out and you're like, man, I thought I was like building something, or like I thought I had a group to hang out with, and then it just falls through after a while. This is no reflection on you. Do not focus on what does this mean? How does this define me? Will I ever find friends? No. That is an individual event. We're not focusing on that. We're focusing here. Over here in the Two of Cups in reverse. Man, I thought this relationship was going to last forever. I'm so sad and disappointed it didn't work out. Or maybe you've had a couple like dates you've gone on that just have, fallen through is the term, I think. I cannot think of metaphors and terms. I sound otherworldly when I speak and do this. I do not mean to do that. Anyways, when it doesn't work out, same concept. It's not to focus on the idea of like, will I ever find love? And what does this mean? Don't focus on that. That is not important. Focus back on this. It does not mean that you will not have friends that, surround you. And it does not mean you will not find the one. That's not the case at all. It's just that by focusing on these, that's all you'll get. And now is the time for personal growth and self-improvement, but also to receive these things that you're going to love. Like, you're going to be so excited when you get that free trip. You're going to be so pumped when you have this career that you always wanted for. And in addition, good friends. And in addition, your dream person to be with. So this is going to be something you're excited to put your attention to, but will definitely help when you have the little hiccups in the road. Don't focus on the hiccups. Don't give them greater meaning. Focus back on here. Don't forget to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a lovely day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and let's get ready for the next sign. Cancer, how are you doing today? Let's get started on your general reading by looking at the cards. We have Seven of Wands upright, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Six of Cups in reverse, and the Moon card upright. Ooh, this is super interesting. This is really interesting for me as a tarot reader because tarot truly is an art form, and there's just so many different ways you can read. And I mean, even for me, I'm always learning something new, and I just love that about it. Right now, it's the way my attention is being brought to the Moon card. It's like I cannot see any of the other cards except the Moon card. And I'm being told this is the direction you want to go in. And essentially, daydreaming is going to be your best friend right now, which I absolutely love. So because this is for my Cancers, there is a tendency based on how skilled you guys are emotionally that you can like experience something in a tangible way and then either take it on or create it through your emotions. Your emotions really come into your environment, essentially. And this is important to understand yourself in this circumstance because of what's going on here. The Seven of Wands, we have someone really putting up a good fight and being like, I am not letting go. I am going to be on the defense. They're not really able to do anything else. They're not able to relax or think of nice thoughts or even try other things because they're just trying to protect themselves and defend what they have. They can only they're trapped in sort of like an endless cycle of just maintaining what they have but not being able to build upon. And then over here we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This can be when things just don't feel like they're going your way. This can just feel like, when we look at the Wheel of Fortune, it's a cycle. It's up and down, and some people refer to it as good fortune and bad fortune, or when things are going great and seem like they're all working out in your advantage, then the next moment that just something isn't lining up and it's just not the right time or place. And then over here, we have the Six of Cups in reverse. For some of you, this is a circumstance where luck just doesn't seem to be going in your way, and there seems to be a lot of defensiveness because of a person in your past you're still associating yourself with. And so essentially, you're living in the past. That's a key word, living in the past. This person from the past, this circumstance from the past, this mindset from the past, I am trying to keep this a general reading, is not serving you anymore. And while maybe at one time it did, and that's why you felt motivated to go back there, it is kind of trapping you and keeping you in not a great cycle like we talked about over here that you need to experience. What was sweet is now turned sour, is the best way I can put it. And it's just not working out anymore. But here's the thing. The solution is in the Moon card. Because what you see in front of you tangibly, physically, you take on emotionally, and what you feel emotionally, you put out into the physical world. This is when you want to use that to your advantage by best understanding yourself. You can create your own reality. So when you create in your mind, you think, well, where would I like to be? What would I like to see? And it's not about, and I want to be clear, it's not in this circumstance. It's whenever you feel like there's a moment where you're defending yourself, whenever you feel like things aren't going your way, you're like, oh no, I dropped another plate or something like that, or oh, I wish this person would be like the way they used to. I thought it would work out. Stop. It's not going to be in this particular circumstance. Instead, go outside yourself and think, what would I like to have? The world, my future is technically a blank canvas. What am I going to draw there? What am I going to add to my sort of, people make their dream boards and they cut out magazines of what they would like. I would highly recommend that. And you just think, what do I want? And as you daydream and you get excited about it, that is what you will create, and the rest will solve itself and fix itself. But these things can call your attention in and pull you in. So then you only focus there, and that's what continues to manifest. Use your abilities and natural skills to your advantage. Look elsewhere. Think elsewhere. It should be dreamy. It should seem impossible. And it should feel like you're a kid again, essentially. Do not worry about the proof, how or when or why. It's just simply your attention and emotion of what could be and what you would like that to be fulfilled by, which will be the ultimate solution. So I love that. I love a dreamy, easy peasy vibe, because how it happens and what happens is not important. In fact, do not give it a road or a path or how you would like it to be. The more options available for you, the quicker it can happen, because the universe basically will make anything work out into your advantage of whatever you see to be the end result. So yay! I love a good solution and an optimistic and excited future for you, whatever that may be. It's very much left in the stars, as we can see over here in the Moon card. Please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the video like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I am wishing you the best, and I will see you in the next one. And let's get ready for the next sign. Scorpio, how are you doing today? Let's look at your general reading by looking at the cards. Got the Fool card upright, the Three of Hearts upright, the World in reverse, and the Seven of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Okay, so the first thing my guides are pointing out is about the idea of problem solving, that you are inherently able to solve situations creatively. Like if something is, standing in your way, there's some sort of obstacle, you'll make it happen. You will figure out a way that might not be the norm or the traditional way of getting it done, which is great. But that idea of problem solving is more of a metaphor in this particular case. It's this idea that there are many paths in your mind and there are no limits. There's just other doors to open, essentially. But here we have sort of a confliction going on. We have the main obstacle and problem, the source of what's causing this, and then we have where you're going to go, which is awesome. So over here, we have the representation of the Seven of Wands of you feeling like you've got to fight. Sometimes it's aggressive, sometimes it's just making stuff happen. It's not personal. And then we have over here the World card representing this sort of loveliness, the sense of like, yeah, we made it happen. Like, I made it happen for me. I made it happen for someone else. Yay, woo. Sort of like a more gentle, excited, positive vibe, and something that can sometimes be misinterpreted for negative or intentionally is meant to be that way. Either way, these are two different, they're meant to be very vague representations, and they're sort of meant to be many options and ways of solving a situation. In this way, you've got to be proactive, push people back, say, I will not be put down. And in this case, you need to know when you have achieved something, give yourself sort of confidence, excitement, let other people know what you've accomplished in order to receive more. Both are valid, but if you notice, they're kind of turned upside down. And the reason why they're not maybe functioning in the way they should, because you're such a great problem solver, you're meant to take on these different sorts of personalities and ways of handling the solution in order to get to whatever objective that is, whether that be with friends, love, finances, whatever, is because of how they're facing each other. When you have the ability to try out different doors and different paths, they should be facing away from each other, so you can go this way or that way. But instead, they're colliding into each other and having, unfortunately, a battle within themselves. Like, this person is fighting off the personality that would benefit them as well, and this person isn't able to defend themselves and doesn't really have anything that's going to offer or change the mind of this other person who only wants sort of like a confrontation. I'm not saying that's who you are. We're talking about the personalities, the cards interacting. So we have this sort of confliction of you have all this potential, but something just keeps getting in your way, essentially. So we can talk about what's getting in your way over here with the Three of Swords upright. This is about a mindset that is extremely painful for you. And the mindset, interestingly enough, is how you perceive yourself with how you interact with other people. There's a sort of judgment you put upon yourself when you interact with others. This could be with friends, this could be with a loved one, this could be with anyone. But when you interact with people, there is the way you interact right now. There's something, like, whether it be an expectation, maybe you're overly judging yourself, whatever it is, it feels like you interact and then you're in pain. And there is something that essentially needs to be resolved there and just paid attention that is the source of the problem that's causing this confliction and sort of interaction going on over here. When that is solved and dealt with, and once you're like, oh, you're right. Why do I do that? What do I need to receive as comfort in order to overcome? You actually need to realize where you need to go in order to feel that motivation or tension release, so to speak, when we have the Fool card upright. The Fool card is somebody who is only focused on who they are right now. Yes, they know that the future is bright. And because they know the future is bright without any proof, it is. They just know no matter what the end goal is, they're going to get where they want to go to, and it's going to be exciting. But they are able to take any path, go down any door, and they're not worried about what tactic do they need to use or what works for them now, whatever. They just go with the flow, and they can trust in themselves to make the right decision as they go. This is your natural state of being and where you feel most comfortable in. You want to be present. You want to be able to trust that as those obstacles pop up or those situations arise, you will know what to do next. You will know the right person to choose or trust. You will know the right time to say yes or no. You do ultimately, but there's a sort of like, when we're stressed, we go back to what we think are our comforts or our cushions, emotionally. And even though this is technically how you can solve, these situations, solve what door to go down to, because you're only focusing on it and you're confused and this pain is motivating everything, everything's getting twisted and conflicted. So it's about being kinder to yourself, of forgiving yourself for something, forgiving someone else, facing that, and then allowing yourself to return back into the present, because right now it's too painful for you to be in the present and then embody this and then be the most empowering, powerful person that you were truly meant to be. So ask yourself, what is it? What do you need to take a second to give love to, be kind to, solve, heal? What is it? And everything else will work itself out. I'm very excited for you, by the way. Please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And let's get ready for the next sign. Gemini, how are you doing? Let's look at your general reading by looking at the cards. We've got Knight of Swords in reverse, Ace of Cups upright, Justice card upright. Ooh, and fantastic, Ace of Pentacles upright. Okay, well, I essentially have a ton of good news to say to you. I'm so pumped. But I have a bit of, I guess you could say it's a warning. It's just so that you don't feel like tripped up, so to speak. It's all good. It's not a big deal, but just some words of the wise, you could say. So first, let's talk about the Justice card. For some of you, this is related to the idea of karma. You're ending cycles that need to be ended. You're forgiving, you're letting go, you're finally healing in a deep way, both in this lifetime and other times. All that self-improvement is adding up. Congratulations. For the rest of you, and I would include the people who also have karma situations they're working out essentially and letting go of, this is about the idea that you understand deeply that what you put in is what you get back. And you're getting it back. All that love and attention you've been giving to yourself, all that hard work you've been doing at work, guess what? It's paying off. You're getting it back, essentially. Everything's working in your favor. I also want to point out when the Justice card is popping up, your likability factor is very strong. This is the time to ask for more, push kind of boundaries you maybe normally wouldn't push to see what you can get back, because you will get it back, which is awesome. So over here we have the Ace of Pentacles. For some of you, this is a job opportunity. Sometimes it's an opportunity within your specific field. For some people, maybe you have your own business and somebody wants to hire you for a specific custom job. Either way, it seems like something new is starting, like a new little vein or branch path of your current career, and it's exciting. You should take it. It involves more money, and it's exciting because it opens your brain to realizing that you are worth more, and that therefore you will receive proof and evidence that you are, and you'll receive it, and this kind of starts the mindset and belief system of like, ooh, I can earn more. I'm someone that is in a higher bracket of income. I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to start. I have a certain mental seed planted. I'm going to keep fostering it and watering it and keep expecting that, and expect to be treated that way by others in the long-term future. This isn't just one opportunity. It's the possibility and potential, if you give it attention, that this will be your long-term situation if you expect others and demand it of others, essentially. And in addition to that, this is why I'm saying I have so much good news your way. For some of you, this is a new relationship. For some of you who are in a relationship, this is like you feel like the romance is kind of blooming again, which is really beautiful. And for the rest of you, this is an emotional thing that's open up. You're becoming more vulnerable again. You're becoming more open. You're trusting. And when you're emotionally open in this way, it opens so many more doors, because you realize that vulnerability isn't a bad thing or something that holds you back, but it in fact opens a ton of doors of possibility and opportunity your way in multiple ways, through socially, through friends, through romantic options, through everything. And because you're able to tap into this easier, express yourself easier, this just basically kind of melts into all the other aspects of your life in a really beautiful way. It's kind of one of those things where like you didn't know it would benefit your career, you didn't know it would benefit your friendship group, and then essentially benefit you in ways you hadn't even imagined. It's the tool you didn't know you needed, essentially, which is really exciting. But that being said, we have a bit of a trip up popping up in the Knight of Swords coming at you fast. This is more of an internal thing. It's this feeling like suddenly you're so open, you're so excited, and you're excited to express yourself, but maybe it's been a while, you've been a little bit blocked. And so you'll trip over your words a little more. Maybe it's you don't feel always the most confident at how you're expressing yourself. And this can make you, especially in your new vulnerable open state, to maybe get in your head a little bit. And I'm basically here to tell you, don't worry about it. It's going to pass. It's just something you didn't think of it this way. If you haven't been able to express yourself for a while, it's a skill you kind of got to relearn, get familiar with. It's okay if there are some mess ups. Maybe do some EFT tapping. I can do a whole video about that if you're interested. How to be more confident in the way you speak and kind of forgive yourself more. And as you forgive yourself and allow yourself to understand that this is just a small time period where you're figuring out your words and how to express yourself, do not worry that other people are going to misinterpret you. This is more of in your own head, your own perspective of yourself. This isn't, other people aren't judging you for this, essentially. Everything's good. But like I said, there's all this good stuff coming from all your hard work. It's all adding up. It sometimes can feel like when there's a slight, you might perceive as a bump in the road. I'm telling you right now, it's not even a pebble. But what you might think is, it's easy to start overthinking things and being self-conscious, and you don't need to rain on your own parade that you've created for yourself. It's okay that this is happening. It's not a big deal. It's like getting your parade float, but it's maybe not the exact color you wanted, but it's maybe your second favorite color. It's not a big deal. You'll figure it out. They've got your first favorite color at the end of the parade. It's all good. You know what I'm saying. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, comment, subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. I'm wishing you the best. I will see you in the next one, and let's get ready for the next sign. Libra, how are you doing today? Let's look at your general reading by looking at the cards. We've got Two of Swords in reverse, the Lover's card upright, 10 of Cups in reverse, 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, okay, so essentially this is about being unhappy at your job. It's just not doing it for you anymore, especially with these two cards interacting. In some cases, this can be about coworkers, and you're not happy at your current job because you don't like your coworkers and it's just not your personal place where you vibe with them. However, coworkers being your friends or people you get along with or not, it's mostly about the idea that I'll be honest with you, if you're not vibing with these other people, it's sort of a positive excuse to leave your job. You're sitting here and your deep core feeling is, I don't like this anymore. This isn't what I want to do. Or maybe I've made enough money that this isn't, what I want to do the rest of my life. And I'm realizing now that I have enough money saved, I feel like I can make a choice, and this is not my choice, and I'm waking up to that realization. And the people that maybe you don't work with, in some cases, for some of you guys, it's this like the universe being like, yeah, get out of here. This isn't where you're meant to be. Get out of here. This isn't what you want to do anymore. So what do you want to do? Well, a decision needs to be made over here in the Two of Swords. It looks like you're going to be making one. This is a highly intense, positive omen that most likely you're going to be leaving this job by your own accord, by your own choice, and you're going to be really figuring out, well, what is it that I want to do? I want to point out over here that the Two of Swords, mostly people just focus on the swords, but it is also governed by the ocean, which represents your intuition and your emotions. Many people forget that when you make decisions, you need to make them with both your heart and your head. And for a while, you needed to work with your head and make the most logical decision that was best for you, and most likely you're with somebody else, your significant other. And it's this vibe of like, okay, this is what I got to do right now to survive and make my money and do what's smartest. But now you're finally able to ask your heart, well, what do you want to do too? And then also in turn make the smartest decision. This is not a decision you're going to make lightly, or a decision that just an extra comfort. You're going to love this. It's not that much of a risk. Like, you're good. Like, it's not going to be that much of a hop, skip, and leap for you to make this decision and go out on a limb here. There's a lot of logic in your choice. Maybe you're like, I'm going to go back to school or something like that. Whatever it is, there's this feeling of when you take this, I wouldn't even call it a risk. You make this decision to go then follow the path you want to follow, you're highly aware that you're making the smartest decision possible, essentially. And that like, it's all good. You have a bit of a path and a plan and you know what to do. And you've got a bunch of backups and options and like, no worries. That's very much the vibe I'm getting from the universe. So you definitely should follow your heart, make this decision, go with it. Now, I am being shown over here in many situations and cases with a lot of you are with somebody else, a significant other. But we're going to keep this pretty vague because this is a general reading. This can refer to maybe a roommate, as well as somebody you are romantically significantly with. Maybe this is a friend. It's this feeling of like, turn to them right now for support. They totally have your back. They want this for you, and it's going to make it a lot easier and make you more excited and focusing on all the potential of this next opportunity you're going to take on. It's like an unexpected adventure that you get to actively choose. You're not being fired, nothing bad happened, it's only positivity. It's just something you didn't realize, like maybe I should make this decision and maybe I should make it now. And you get to discuss this and get excited about this with your significant other person or this person of notable attention that you love spending time with, and they're going to get excited with you. And it's just the support system you kind of need in this transition. The transition is going to be easy and fun, but sometimes when there's space in between, it gives our brain too much time to start thinking and creating worries that are not there. And I want to comfort you again, there are no worries, there are no risks, go with this. But your significant other is going to make you be like, yeah, and you can do this and we can do this and yeah. So it's just a really like happy, loving, exciting spread. And I'm so excited for you in this new, I'm curious, in the comments, please tell me this journey you're going to embark on. I'm genuinely curious because it is career oriented. And well, when it comes to really getting to do what we want in life, there's just so many possibilities, and I'm genuinely curious. If you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, comment, subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a lovely day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And let's get ready for the next sign. Aries, how are you doing today? Let's look at your general reading by looking at the cards. We've got 7 of Cups in reverse, the Death card upright, Page of Pentacles upright, and the 10 of Pentacles upright. Oh, this is pretty interesting. Okay, this is everything points to this being more of a career-oriented spread, but my hunch was more love-oriented. I am being confirmed by my spirit guides that this is a love-oriented spread, so I love this. So over here in the 7 of Cups, I'm going to give some vague examples because this is such a wide audience. Everybody's got their kind of own journey and destination go through, so we're just going to give it some like broad examples. So over here is this vibe of like maybe you like to date multiple people at once. Maybe you don't really like to be tied down to anyone for too long. Maybe you're someone that likes to be with someone else but still be a flirt with a bunch of other people. Maybe you're not with anyone in particular, but you just love being adored and being able to adore multiple people at once. And then we see this transition happening, a dramatic one I want to point out, something that you had not planned for, but is naturally going to happen, especially when we have the Death card. And it seems like you are not resisting it. It's just kind of like you're finding your way into it, where you're going to be more towards, I don't want to say just one person, we'll just say that for now, because I want to keep this pretty open because everybody's got their own way of loving people, and there is no wrong way, but we will describe this in the 10 of Pentacles as just kind of like a little more focused, a little more like full-on serious relationship. I want to be clear here though, you have the 10 of Pentacles, not the 10 of Cups. So for some people, you don't want to have a family. You maybe want to be with someone else and share your life with them, but having kids and like dogs and stuff like that is not your end goal. And that's okay. And for some of you, it is. Again, we're being very open here because there is no wrong direction that you want to go towards. It's just the idea that you're transitioning from this mindset to this one. Keep in mind, pentacles also relate to a belief system, and that's the core thing going on here, the belief system changing. So like I said, there is no resistance in this huge metamorphosis going on for you naturally. It seems like potentially someone has caught your eye, or the idea of having your eye caught by somebody has been decided. You're like, you know what? I love the idea of being with one person. I don't know if I want to scatter my energy everywhere. And I just want to be clear here, that is not a bad thing to encompass or ideology to have. It's just the natural journey where you're transitioning to. So you make this decision and you're just going with the flow. And this is when then it leads to the Page of Pentacles. You kind of become, like, I don't know how to describe this, like, or actually I do, a student of love, so to speak. You start to kind of test and understand. There isn't a lot of testing of boundaries. You're not hurting anyone's feelings. But as you explore this serious relationship, or as you find somebody and you start exploring this relationship with them, you're kind of new to only being into them. And you're like, what do I do if I'm not getting my attention from multiple people, or that's my goal, to be, you know, excited or enchanted by new interactions constantly? What's that like? What do I do? What do I focus on? And you can ask your partner, you can consult books, you can do anything, but it's this excitement of learning, and you find a new charm and zest for life through this new path. You learn that you can find this spiciness anywhere. It does not have to be just in new interactions with new people and an assortment. It's the newness of the multi-dimensions you can experience with this one person. So I'm really excited for you, because for the people that are currently with someone, you're really into them. They've shifted and changed everything in you, and they are quote unquote endgame. I don't know if that's like a terminology people use. I've heard it before. They're the person you're going to essentially like be with, which is super exciting and awesome. And you're going to build a lot of stuff with them, but they are sort of the first inkling, first seed in this entirely new belief system that you're taking on. And well, we love that. That's so exciting for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I will see you in the next one. And let's get ready for the next sign. Leo, how are you doing today? Let's look at your general reading by looking at the cards. We've got the Sun card upright, the Strength card in reverse, 8 of Wands upright, and the Lovers card upright. Oh. Okay, well, we can fix this. Not a big deal. Okay, so there's actually a lot of good stuff happening around you, but it just kind of feels like you're sort of overthinking things and getting in your own way, which is really interesting. It's funny because the Lover's card is here, but I don't know. It's this feeling of like, it's like that's not the only possibility of its meaning, just traditionally meaning being in a relationship with someone else. I am going to explain that, but let's get into this real quickly. So in the Sun card, awesome, feeling amazing about yourself, reconnecting to yourself. It's just this general sense of, I love who I am. I love what I have to offer. I'm feeling connected to that. I'm feeling really excited. And this is what's creating all of this amazing stuff going on over here. Over here, we've got this like lots of opportunities coming your way. This could be through just general good fortune, career stuff. For many of you, this represents with combination of the Lover's card of like the promise of like, oh, someone is coming in quick. And it is going to be a whirlwind romance, and I'm so excited for you. There's just this general sense of like love is in the air, and it's like it's happening and being attracted to you as intensely as you have done all this positive self-work for yourself, which is great. But then we have the Strength card in reverse. And we're going to get a little more into depth with the Lover's card. The Strength card in this particular case is this feeling of confidence. It's like you're overthinking a bit. It's like, okay, I see all these good things coming my way. I got to bring my best leg to it. Oh, I got to be perfect. Like you're too self-aware. And it's essentially turning your confidence upside down. It doesn't mean it's gone. It's not going to be pushed away by these actions. It's just this displacement of energy and mindset. You're viewing your confidence right now as a beast that you have to tame, but it's not. You are, in fact, the lion and the human, and you naturally work in tandem. There's nothing that needs to be controlled. You already have the advantage of being both the lion mindset or the human mindset. But right now, because you're thinking of it as something you need to tame or control, it feels like it's getting away from you, essentially. And so it's almost kind of that similar reaction to, I don't know if you've ever seen, but sometimes dogs misinterpret their owner's emotional mindset. So if the owner's getting like overexcited or angry, the dog will think, oh, I've got to get angry too. What's happening? And getting frustrated. It's like you're this lion, this beast version of you, and this is all metaphor, is just kind of thinking, I've got to overreact too. I've got to freak out too. I've got to overanalyze too. And it's just kind of getting away from you. And you don't need to do that. You've already got confidence. You've already worked for it. You're good to go. Everything is okay. You can allow these opportunities to come in. Maybe take a breath, and when you find yourself about to overthink it, just let things happen. Just let things work out. Your natural confidence will kick in and you will do the right thing. Everything's okay. That's why the Lover's card doesn't always represent the idea of love in this case. It can represent just this good feeling vibes, this connection, this promise that things are going to be okay, that good things are coming your way, connection with other people. I'm being told by my spirit guides it's this feeling of like hope and happiness. It's more vague for a lot of you. It's not just simply the promise that someone's coming your way, which I think is really interesting because, obviously usually the Lover's card traditionally just means relationship. So be welcoming of it. You don't have to get defensive. Again, the Lover's card knows how they work in tandem to each other. Think of one being a paw with the lion's hand. Oh, I get the metaphor now. Okay, I see what they're talking about. It's like one hand is the lion's paw and one is you, and you can work in tandem in order to accept and receive all these opportunities and possibilities. I am going to share just on the off sense. I'm not really feeling like this is an interpretation for the vast majority of you, but I'm just going to share it just in case. For some of you, this refers to what I will just simply describe as like your sacral chakra. And sometimes people put too much of an emphasis on this part of romance, and they either want too much of it or view it so seriously that they kind of deal with some self-confidence issues, thinking they don't have enough to offer. And this is basically saying, oh, you're fine. You're not going to be loved or adored for this. It will work itself out. You can discuss it with your partner. You can figure it out. Don't worry. But don't put the strain on what the possibility is and the reaction to them around this and miss out on all this good stuff. So if you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.